No matter what kind of store you visit, no matter what kind of tobacco you ask for, every gas station, convenience store, vape shop, and neighborhood market knows it's illegal to sell tobacco products to anyone under 21. So if you're planning to buy something with nicotine, remember to bring your ID. It will get checked. Because in Wisconsin, 21 means 21, no matter what. Find out what the federal tobacco sales law means for you at dhs.wisconsin.gov/tobacco21.
Live from multiple locations via the miracle of Skype, it's the LTN Hour. Let's talk NASCAR with your host, Todd Bailing. Featuring Dangerous Dan Margetta and Brian Schmidt. LTN is a caller-driven program, and your participation is encouraged by calling 414-421-7901. That's 414-421-7901. Now, the creator and host of the fastest hour in radio, Todd Bailing.
And welcome to the program. Glad you could join us. Our team, our on-the-road team, which you never know where they're going to be. They could be at a short track near you. Instead, not really a short track near you. Today, they're at a road course near you. Dan and Brian are at Road America for the WeatherTech IMSA Sports Car Series today. And first of all, how's the weather up there?
It's actually pretty good. It's actually a really nice day. It's been a good weekend. There were some issues maybe today about being some rain coming around. It looks like that's all gone and not going to happen. So we're ready for a pretty big event. There's a lot of people here for this race.
Yes, we are moments away from going green flag on this event, about 15 minutes away from the start. The Wheelin Engineering Cadillac will lead them to the green at about 10:15. And ironically enough, that same car that starts on the pole, when we got through the gate this morning, they had a warm-up at 8 o'clock this morning. He slammed the thing into the concrete wall in turn 13, so they had to scramble to get it repaired. But our crack pit reporter, which is my father, just gave me a call from over in the pit area. It's ready to go. They pushed it out, so he will be on the pole for today's event starting in about 15 minutes.
And who is that?
Pippo Dirani and Sims are the two drivers of that car. It's the Cadillac GTP car. They set the new track record here. A minute 47.730 around this track, which averages 135 miles an hour.
Now, this is the same group that runs the 24 Hours of Daytona, correct?
Yep, exactly. Correct.
But that one, of course, has like 5 different classes. Today, is it one class?
No, there's 4. There's 4 classes in this race today. So there's 3 different types of prototype cars here. There's a lot of them. There's actually 25 different prototype cars here today, which is the most we've seen here in many, many years. And then the rest of them are GT cars. So there's going to be 45 cars starting this race here shortly today. But it's this race is 2 hours and 40 minutes. Then they have a Lamborghini race after that. And then at 5 to 3 today, they start another 2-hour race for the Michelin Pilot Challenge Series, which is a pretty entertaining event, too. I think there's almost 40 cars in that division as well.
Jeez, that's amazing. Now, Dan, you said something about when you got to the track, it was like 7 in the morning?
I got here just before 8 because we got here early, and I was about 8 cars in line to get into the gate. It was moving real nice. It wasn't like we were sitting for a while. But
there was a line at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yes. Yeah, people are coming out early for this event.
This is an NBC special here. The reason that this race is at 10:15 this morning is due to TV rights, and they did it to them last year, only 3 weeks before the race, and it created quite a cluster of people coming in here when the race was almost over. So this year they were notified early enough that it was going to be an early start, so they were able to get the proper schedule up and get people notified to get here early enough.
We are racing at Michigan today with the Cup Series. Remember them? The Michigan race is today. The green flag is at 1:49 our time. And, of course, coverage right here on the Big 920 begins at 12:30 this afternoon. Also heard on the iHeartRadio app, so be sure to tune in for the race today. And it is on USA Network today. By now, you have seen or heard something about the great mistake made. And Noah Gregson, I'm not exactly sure how to take this. There are people By now, you have seen that he has been suspended indefinitely by both NASCAR and his team. His team actually suspended him first. It was for liking a post. Now, the post itself, I didn't totally understand until it was explained to me early this morning what it all meant. But it had to do with George Floyd, and anytime his name is attached to anything, it becomes very politically sensitive. And we posted it on our Facebook page. If you want to see the actual meme that got him, that didn't get him suspended. The meme was put up by somebody else, and as Noah Gragson was apparently looking at it back in May. Now, this was posted 3 years ago. For one reason or another, it came up again in May when Noah Gragson was looking at it and hit the like button, which doesn't seem to be the smartest thing he's ever done in his life. But that has cost him his ride indefinitely, and they have put Josh Berry into the 42 car. Josh Berry, of course, is going from now this is a Chevrolet. The 42 is a Chevrolet. It's the Petty Johnson car called Legacy. That's it, Legacy. That is going to be driven by Josh Berry, who is a one of those lame duck drivers. He's going to go to a Ford next year. And of course, the 42 car itself is a Chevrolet, but that's also a lame duck deal because they're switching to Toyota next year. It came out before this ever hit the fan that Toyota is going to put John Hunter Nemechek in the car, and that Gragson was suddenly going to lose the ride anyway. This all just happened to work right into it. Now, this social media thing, we should learn lessons. It very darn near cost Kyle Larson. It did cost him the ride he was in at the time. Good for him. He got a much better ride by the time the dust settled. Social media is such a double-edged sword. There are drivers that are criticized because they don't have more of a social media presence. And then you get guys that are on social media all the time clicking stuff right and left. And, it can get you into trouble. This was, well, you can look at it and judge for yourself. It has been compared to the Bubba Noose caper from a couple of years ago. It is not the same. It was similar, but not the same. That was made into something that wasn't. This was already there, and he should have just scrolled on past without liking it. But it's not exactly the same the way I see it. But what it does is it gives Legacy the opportunity to set Noah Gragson down. Nemechek would already be in the car, except that it's still a Chevrolet. Do you realize that since that group said they're switching to Toyota next year, Chevrolet has completely cut them off, like no big surprise, from any support whatsoever, which, they are kind of in no man's land right now. So they have a Chevy that's going to turn into a Ford driven by a Chevy driver who's going to drive wait a minute. It's going to be a Toyota with a driver who's going to go to a Ford. Does any of this make sense? I'm not sure, but if you'd like to weigh in, gosh, we'd love to hear from you. Our number is 414-421-7901. And yes, you too can weigh in. There seems to be lots of opinions on this subject today. But if you call, you can call about anything having to do with NASCAR and the wonderful circus that this sport has become. And we'd love to hear from you. But that's not all that's happening. They're actually racing today at Michigan without Noah Gragson. Bell is on the pole, 193.382 miles per hour. Like I like to remember, the first race I ever went to in my life was in 1976, a NASCAR race, and was at this track. And the pole winner, which was David Pearson driving for the Wood Brothers, was at just a hair under 160 miles an hour. And at those relatively slow to what they're now 33 miles an hour we're looking at here, difference in speed, they were able to run 4 wide lap after lap after lap. But the cars are much more aerodynamically dependent these days. And it is a great dilemma that NASCAR has of having cars with lots of speed and that put on good races. And usually it's one or the other. It was a pretty damn good race last week at Richmond, though. And we are going to talk more about last week's race at Michigan when we come back. The boys are at Road America, and we'll talk to them and hopefully some of you after these.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship-winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at wagnerautomotive.com.
Race in and get your tickets now as the Fanatec GT World Challenge storms into Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, August 18th through the 20th. This is an all-sports car series of racing. GT powered by AWS, the Toyota Gazoo North American GR Cup Series, and more. There will also be exotic racing, including BMW, Ferrari, Porsche, and a whole list of touring cars. Get your tickets now at roadamerica.com. America's National Park of Speed.
The summer heat is on, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
The wait is almost over. Wisconsin football under first-year head coach Luke Fickell kicks off Saturday, September 2nd against Buffalo. Milwaukee's exclusive home for Badgers football is 97.3 The Game.
Welcome back to LTN. There's another side to that story. If it's an issue, I don't know if it's a story. It's an issue. It's never a deal on these type of things that has happened to Noah Gragson until someone makes a complaint or notices it. And Brian, I'm hearing this is kind of concerning to me. It's a columnist that just, from what I understand, is happy to stir the pot.
Oh yeah, I mean this whole thing it's really concerning to me. The supposedly Noah Gragson looked at this in May, and he must have clicked the like button sometime in May. And somebody out there, I don't know who it was, some guy in his mom's basement probably was scrolling through everything and saw that Noah liked this thing. So he, in turn, let this Daniel McFadden, who is a wannabe reporter out of Arkansas, about this thing here. He's part of the frontstretch.com, I believe, is where he's a part of. A guy who was just in the hospital for alcoholism and had a big old episode. Not that it has anything to do with it.
Oh, cut it out.
Should know the facts. And that's what happened last weekend. So he gets out of his rehab or his hospital stay and is notified of this, and then sends multiple messages to Legacy Motorsports saying, what are you going to do about this? Legacy, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Legacy could have said, who the hell is this guy, and just, swept it under the carpet. That's what I would have thought would have been.
We can't do that anymore.
Yeah, but nobody knows who Daniel McFadden is. I didn't know about him until yesterday. Dan and I are riding around here, and we see this, and Dan shows this to me and says, hey, this is the guy who did this, I mean, and it's ridiculous. And if you look at all the posts that he has in his past, you could tell he's not a guy who, he's not a real big fan of America and all that kind of stuff. You know what we're talking about. He's on that side of the whole thing here, and that's where this all came from. So I guess that's what really irritates me about the whole thing is that Legacy jumped on this and took the bait from this guy so that this guy can make something of him. Right, Dan? I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I'm surprised. You went and talked to the team. Okay, you sent messages to the team and Chevy and a bunch of PR reps and even Toyota and all this kind of stuff. He never sent nothing to know himself. I mean, being a good journalist, talk to everybody. How about go to the main source itself and ask him about it first and see what he says about it? And it may not even become a story, and may have been taken and handled right there. But then again, you wouldn't know who this reporter is either if they did it that way. And part of it, I think, with the social media is too, is some of these reporters have this 15 minutes of fame type thing, and now he got his, and people are going to know about him. But yeah, this whole thing could have been handled. For what it turned into, it didn't need to be that way. I mean, was it right? Probably not. And should there be some action probably could have been taken? He may be suspended for one race, but I don't think it would have been the social media storm it's going to become right now. And it didn't need to be that. It really didn't need to be there. That to the extent that it went.
And if you read the article on the
guy's name.
Hello and welcome to the Pick and Save Show. At Pick and Save, everyone wins when it comes to saving big. Because when you order online through the Pick and Save app, you get the same great prices, deals, and rewards on pickup or delivery that you do in-store with no hidden fees or markups. So no matter how you shop, you'll always save big at Pick and Save. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Save big on your favorites with the Buy 5 or More, Save $1 each sale. Simply buy 5 or more participating items and save $1 each with your card. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Daniel McFadden. And if you read his article on thefrontstretch.com, it's nothing but a big me, I article. Like, he deserves a big pat on the back for finding this, and he's a big social justice guy and all this kind of stuff. No, it isn't. It's a bunch of crap. He ruined a guy's career over a meme that was made 3 years ago that a guy was scrolling through and liked. And I don't know. I mean, Noah apologized for it, but I'll be honest with you. I'm scrolling through stuff on the internet, and my big fat thumb every now and then hits buttons that I don't even know it hits. And you end up liking stuff you don't even know. I mean, the bottom line of the whole thing is he didn't create the meme. He didn't post the meme. He didn't comment on the meme. He didn't share the meme. So what's the deal here? And I think if he would have done any of those four things, you would have an issue. But he didn't do any of those. All he did was like it. And I said, he's admitting that he did it and that and this and that. But I mean, hell, there's a lot of things I've done like that I don't even know that I've liked something that's been on there.
Let he who is without... I forgot how it works. Throw the first stone, whatever. I shouldn't be quoting stuff that I don't really know much about. Well, if you do want to weigh in, we'll be happy to do it. Remember that it's at this point is politically sensitive. Greg from Milwaukee is waiting on line one here. Greg, welcome back. Nice to have your voice.
Yes. Hey guys, I'm trying to remember. Was Sam Mayer part of the Kulwicki Future Star program?
No, sir.
And secondly, are there any of the Kulwicki futures? Did any of them make it up to the highest level of NASCAR?
Well, if you want to count Ty Majeski was the first one that. And actually absolutely killed him in the program. He had 18 feature wins the year that he was the candidate for the Kulwicki program. But he's racing up in the Truck Series. He was in the Final Four last year, and he's probably the highest one I would say through the program so far.
Very good. And I'm not real happy with. The way they've gone to the cable showings. I'm tired of watching soccer and all this other garbage and not having NASCAR on the regular antenna TV. So that's my editorial.
Soccer and all that other crap, huh?
Yeah.
Thanks for the call. We appreciate it, Greg. Yeah. Well, I do want to remind people that soccer is the most watched sport on the planet. And not necessarily in the US of A, but at least for now anyway. But again, if you'd like to weigh in, 414-421-7901. Last week, Chris Buescher. I think it's a surprise just because Chris Buescher does not and has not run up front all that often and managed to absolutely have a perfect car at Richmond. He was the 12th different winner this year, which now kind of pushes everybody back a little bit. There are now 4 non-winners that are going to have to rely on points. Right now, it's Harvick, Keselowski, Bubba, and McDowell. McDowell is 18 positions ahead of Ty Gibbs, and it's very obvious that Chase Elliott, if he's going to be in the playoffs, is going to have to win a race. He is 40 points back. But Brian, all of a sudden, every time there's a new winner, it kind of throws. It's like throwing the dice up against the wall. Things are changing a little bit.
Yeah, it is. Definitely is. And Michael McDowell is the one right at the breaking point right now. He's sitting there in the 16th spot. So if, one of these other guys gets a victory that is outside of, the top 16, you got Ty Gibbs out there, Daniel Suarez. I mean, Chase Elliott, one would think he's going to have as good a chance as any if they can get that car running good here today to get out there. Michael will be the one that would get bumped out. So there's still a lot to play for here yet, and a couple of weeks left. You got 2 road courses to go yet. You got Daytona, which is the wild card, and then you got Michigan today. So we'll see how this goes. But Dowell and Bubba Wallace are the two kind of sitting out there right now on the bubble.
Yeah, they're going to have to step up their game just a little bit. We'll be right back.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Miller Sales and Service is the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer for customer service and satisfaction. Serving the area since 1939, Miller's is located on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. As the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer, Miller's has all kinds of Bravo trailers from 8 feet to 48 feet in stock. They also have a selection of B&B utility and dump trailers, reliable and Chilton open aluminum and steel trailers. With over 50 pre-owned low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs, Miller's has just the vehicle you are looking for. Miller's also carries a full line of Alumacraft boats and Manitou pontoon boats, complete with Evinrude outboards. Why not buy from racers who know what racers want and need? With Miller's Sales and Service on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. Call Jerry, Tom, or Brad Miller today at 920-994-4358. That's Miller's Sales and Service, 920-994-4358.
The finale of the Super 6 Late Model Series at the Fair Park in Plymouth will take place this Saturday night. Because of the recent rainout, the event will pay $2,000 to win and $200 to start. Watch the stars and cars of the Late Model Series battle on the Third Mile Oval. Also watch the Wing Sprint Cars, Grand Nationals, and B-Mods this Saturday night at the Fair Park in Plymouth. Gates will open at 4:30. Opening ceremonies and racing to follow at 6 o'clock. We'll see you there.
The NASCAR Cup Series.
Here they come down to the front straightaway. Green flag goes in the air.
Heads to the Irish Hills of Michigan.
Larson gets turned, backs it up into the outside, safer barrier.
With 4 races remaining in the regular season.
Denny Hamlin at the front of the field. He's on the front straightaway. The checkered flag is out. It's official.
It's the Firekeepers Casino 400.
Sunday afternoon, coverage starts at 12:30 on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
Welcome back to the program. There's some things happening, like we like to think of this, what they used to call the silly season. It's all usually a bunch of, rumors, but some things were announced this week. Like, for one, Martin Truex was telling people, I don't really know what I'm doing next year yet. And what you need to do is get a translator, what that means. That means, I don't know if the sponsor will come back and wants me to drive the car. And guess what? Apparently they did, and he renewed for next year in that car. So Truex's name and the 19 car now is off the table. So all these, I wonder who's going to go to the 19 car. Well, I tell you who it's going to be. It's going to be Truex. Now, some other names that have been thrown around this week. Corey LaJoie. I wonder out loud how good Corey LaJoie really is. They say, well, if he was in a good car, the guy'd be winning races. Yeah, maybe he would. I don't know. His name was kicked around for a couple things, but he has signed a multi-year extension to stay with Spire Motorsports. And Spire, to me, is a business that is happy to be on a racetrack. Rented cars, and a couple times they have pretty good runs, and they did with LaJoie at Atlanta. So there you go there. Also, Jockey, a major sponsor in the sport, has renewed its sponsorship with Trackhouse. That's a kind of a big deal. It's a 2-year deal. Boy, that just doesn't happen, seems like. So that's going to happen for the next 2 years that they stuck around there. So, and that hasn't really changed too many of the lists of people, like who might be moving, who might be available, what rides might be open. All we know for sure is you can take the 19 car off the list. It's the pipelines that we talk about. Who's in the Ford, who's in the Chevy, who's in the Toyota pipeline. John Hunter Nemechek appears to be the next guy up in the Toyota pipeline, and he will go to the 42 car next year from reports. Nothing was ever announced on this kind of thing, was it, guys? I mean, it's just that's the hot rumor, correct?
Yeah, it's just everybody was talking about behind the scenes kind of thing, that they weren't happy with Gregson in the 42, looking to find a way to put John Hunter in there with the move to Toyota, which makes sense because John Hunter's probably the Toyota's best guy that's not in the Cup Series right now. Also, remember that Spire deal. They got that thing with Gainbridge, and there's an Andretti connection. If they're still kind of out there, no one's really kind of put that together yet to see if that's got anything more to it, to see if Spire will step up. The sponsorship is there for next year for quite a few races, I think.
That might be an idea where you get Corey LaJoie signing this multi-year deal, because if that team goes ahead and gets together with Andretti and Andretti becomes part of it, all of a sudden now you're part of a team that really could go places in the future. So probably not a bad move on his part if he doesn't really have anything else going on to latch onto that and hope for the best going forward.
Then you got to look at Stuart Haas with the 10 car now. What's up with Eric Almirola? Is he coming back next year or not? Most people think he isn't. That would open up a car there, betting again on sponsorship. Does Smithfield stay around if Almirola doesn't come back? I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there that domino, I think, on the Ford side's got to fall yet. That's probably the biggest one out there to see what happens with that car. Yeah, because you got those guys at Front Row Motorsports with McDowell and Gilliland, and they got Zane Smith. They got 3 drivers for 2 cars there. So maybe, one of those guys, if the 10
over, much of it, Dan, has to do with the Chinese meat company there, Smithfield. Are they going to come back? And if so, they do like Almirola. He's been a good spokesman for them, and spokesmen don't necessarily have to win to make sponsors happy, the way it seems. That's what we've got to. It always seems better that if they show a car that's winning races, that's a thing, But he is a wonderful spokesman for them. They love him, and there's something to be said for that loyalty, brand loyalty, and all that. So if we hear that someone else is going to that car, one of 2 things has happened. Either Smithfield is pulled out, or they have okayed the new driver, and with the blessing of the old driver, because it seems like if Almirola said, I wouldn't, I don't like that guy. I don't know if you should even be sponsoring him. I would take my money somewhere else. I doubt that he would do that, but there's all kinds of possibilities out there. And I say Chinese because Smithfield is owned by a Chinese conglomerate. They bought it a couple of years ago.
I wonder if is that a coveted Ford ride anymore? I mean, Stuart Haas is still okay. Are they as great as they were? Probably not. I mean, look at Roush, Fenwick, Keselowski. I mean, they won last week, and they've got a couple wins here before Stuart Haas this year. So maybe Justin Haley did the right thing by going to Rick Ware, who's partnered with RFK. Maybe that's the new Ford team along with Penske, and Stuart Haas is kind of on the outside. I mean, they're going to have to step up their game over Stuart Haas, I think, to draw somebody there.
Good point, Dan. I think I like all that. Hey, also, I think it's interesting that SVG, we're supposed to call him by that name because that's how he's known everywhere in the world. Shane Van Gisbergen, the guy that won in Chicago on the road course. We know he's going to be racing at the Indy road course, which, by watching him there, I can't imagine he can be anything but the favorite to win. He was just that spectacular. He's going to get his first oval track race. He's going to drive in a truck. They're racing at IRP in the trucks, huh? And, if you're going to get a truck to drive, I'm not sure Nice is the best one to have a shot to actually do something. Or am I, looking at that wrong?
Well, what truck beat Ty Majeski last week? That was a Nice truck. So they're the latest winners in the truck series.
Yeah, I guess so. Interesting.
Yeah. don't think it's a bad ride. Another truck news, I don't know if you saw, Derek Kraus got a ride for the Milwaukee race. He's going to drive the Spire truck, number 7. They announced that this week. In fact, I think he'll be at the Fair Park on Monday actually doing some things along with Josh Palicki. But good for Derek. He'll be back in the truck series for his second start.
Yeah, very nice. That deal has been in the works for quite a while, and I knew it was coming before the Nationals anyway, which was like a month ago. So, yeah, good for him.
Brian and I knew it back in Daytona.
It's a wonderful thing to have him racing at the Milwaukee Mile, too, by the way. We'd like to hear that. For anyone that is...
Hello and welcome to the Pick and Save Show. At Pick and Save, everyone wins when it comes to saving big. Because when you order online through the Pick and Save app, you get the same great prices, deals, and rewards on pickup or delivery that you do in-store, with no hidden fees or markups. So no matter how you shop, you'll always save big at Pick and Save. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Save big on your favorites with the Buy 5 or More Save $1 each sale. Simply buy 5 or more participating items and save $1 each with your card. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
No matter what kind of store you visit, no matter what kind of tobacco you ask for, every gas station, convenience store, vape shop, and neighborhood market knows it's illegal to sell tobacco products to anyone under 21. So if you're planning to buy something with nicotine, remember to bring your ID. It will get checked. Because in Wisconsin, 21 means 21, no matter what. Find out what the federal tobacco sales law means for you at dhs.wisconsin.gov/tobacco21.
Headed to Road America, the WeatherTech IMSA Sports Car Series is racing there today. They're going to be racing all day long. They're racing right now, and the boys are there. Dan and Brian are right behind Victory Lane right now, and I'm surprised we haven't heard a car or two go by since we've been talking. It's
Currently
pretty...
under caution. They had an incident on the back stretch, so they're not at full throttle right now.
There you go. We're going to sneak away for a break, and we'll be back. Hang in there.
Race in and get your tickets now as the Fanatec GT World Challenge storms into Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, August 18th through the 20th. This is an all-sports car series of racing. GT powered by AWS. The Toyota Gazoo North American GR Cup Series, and more. There will also be exotic racing, including BMW, Ferrari, Porsche, and a whole list of touring cars. Get your tickets now at roadamerica.com. America's National Park of Speed.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
The finale of the Super 6 Late Model Series at the Fair Park in Plymouth will take place this Saturday night. Because of the recent rainout, the event will pay $2,000 to win and $200 to start. Watch the stars and cars of the Late Model Series battle on the Third Mile Oval. Also watch the Wing Sprint Cars, Grand Nationals, and B-Mods this Saturday night at the Fair Park in Plymouth. Gates will open at 4:30. Opening ceremonies and racing to follow at 6 o'clock. We'll see you there.
This week on NASCAR Live, Bubba Wallace joined the show.
Usually we're 200 and something points out and we're in a must-win situation. So, for this, you try not to treat it any different. But, I do remind these guys, like, hey, if you think about flipping stages or doing something different, remember, we need all the points that we can get. And so I think we're all aware of the scenario or situation that we're in.
There's much more waiting for you each week on NASCAR Live.
Every Tuesday night at 6 on the Big 920 in your iHeartRadio app.
And nice to have you back. They announced the class of 23 for the NASCAR Hall of Fame. As a matter of fact, it's been quite the Hall of Fame week. Jimmy Johnson and Chad Knaus are going to the NASCAR Hall of Fame. They're eligible now. I don't know how that eligibility thing works, actually. It's supposed to be a couple of years you're out of a car, right, Dan?
I think so. Or maybe out of full-time competition. I mean,
that must be it.
Yeah.
Chad Knaus, of course, the crew chief for Jimmy Johnson for all 7 of his championships. Now he's the director of everything over there, I guess. He works directly for...
I think it's kind of cool that they're going in together. I mean, they did so much together.
Yeah.
I think it's cool to have them on the same ballot.
And Donnie Allison is going into the Hall of Fame also. Now that's the NASCAR Hall of Fame. The Wisconsin Hall of Fame class of 23 was announced this week. Congratulations to the following 5. Mike Babbage, a fellow announcer, going into the Hall of Fame. Nice going, Mike. Frank Ferrari, who was a racer and was a flagman for years. Dave Olson, our buddy that's just a second to nobody in the photography business. Fran Preste, a racer and, of course, the founder of 5-Star Stock Car Bodies. And Dave Tomczak, who's given a lifetime to racing. And those 5 are going to be installed in November. Now, Matt Kenseth was on the ballot. Matt Kenseth got more votes than anybody else got, from what I understand. However, Matt Kenseth is not going into the Hall of Fame this year. He's the first name that he got so many votes, he got votes for next year. He's going in the class of 2024, and the reason for that is that Matt is racing in the New York Marathon on that weekend, and he wanted to be at the Hall of Fame induction ceremony in person. So they're pushing him back a year, and he will be inducted in the class of 24. So kind of neat. Now, I'm talking about all these halls of fame. There's a little thing we have at Slinger Speedway called the Wall of Fame. Those who have been instrumental in the success of our little racetrack over the years. I'm proudly a member since the year 2020. But this year, tonight, I will be joined by our partner, Dan Margetta, who has been standing on the roof with a camera for how many years? I know it's over 30.
Like 33. No, 1990. Yeah, it's 33.
33rd season. That's, you say, well, just filming. That isn't all Dan has done over the years. He's also been the PR guy. He's written the stories for the racing for the past, I don't know, close to that long. There was a time when Dan Margetta was assisting track personnel in making calls on the track because, of course, in a controversial call, Dan would run his video back and go frame by frame, if possible, and help the track make calls. He doesn't do that anymore. That's done by somebody else now. But Dan, it's pretty neat that you're going into the Wall of Fame, and I get to interview you tonight.
Yeah, that'll be something. It'd be weird coming on that side of the fence. I'm usually up on the top filming everything and not being on the stage. That's kind of nervous about that, and it's how it goes and everything that way. But it's just an honor to do that. I mean, I still think I crashed that wall party. I mean, I look at those names and I can't believe I didn't even be up there with it. But be really kind of cool. And then just thanks to everybody that was involved and everything at that racetrack. It's been a special place for a long time, and it continues to be. And I love going there.
Plus, some other notable names will be joining you: Rick Schaefer, Jimmy Grazana, Bill Johnson Sr., Bobby Gutnecht, and Father Dale Gruba, all being installed into the Slinger Speedway Wall of Fame tonight. So it's a of fame kind of a week with NASCAR and Wisconsin and Slinger all having little ceremonies to do. It's pretty cool stuff. Gentlemen, we're racing at Michigan today, and it is a very fast track. How are we looking at this in terms of aerodynamics? Boy, all of a sudden, here's where I would be saying, Ed, how are aerodynamics going to fall into this? And of course, Ed's not here anymore, and it's kind of hard to ask him. But gentlemen, this is one of those, seems like to me, aero-dependent tracks and racing.
Absolutely, it is. And I heard Kyle Busch in an interview, I believe it was yesterday, when he was in the media center talking about how these new cars, with the new plate that they have underneath the car to make them so flat, creates so much turbulence when you're behind another car, especially at Michigan, that he thinks passing is going to be at a premium. And he was hoping there'd be a way that they could get that plate out from underneath that car again, so you wouldn't have that, so that the air could be a little bit more disturbed and create a little more passing opportunities. But I think that's what you're going to be up against today.
Yeah, and traditionally, if you look at fantasy teams and stuff like that, if you want to do like DraftKings, that kind of stuff, a lot of your top finishers usually start in the top 15. Not many people come from the back to the front. Now, if I say that, watch, it'd be different this week, but that's usually traditionally what happens here because of that aerodynamic. It's so fast, too. I mean, remember, this place is one of the faster tracks to go to. It's not restricted either, right?
No,
it's only a 400 miler, too. It's 200 laps.
Yeah, this is one that can have the really long green flag runs too. You've seen both sides of it there. You've seen absolute carnage there a few years ago, and then you've seen races. Heck, I believe there was a race years ago that Dale Jarrett won that went green to checker without a single caution back in the early 2000s. So you can have, it's very wide, lots of room to pass there. They have a little bit of a grip strip that they put up on the top with some of the resin. I don't know how much that's going to get used today. I guess we'll see how much rubber gets in it. I heard it did rain overnight, so the track is going to be green when they get back racing today.
Yeah, they do have the PJ1 or whatever they call it. They showed it that it was all over the track. But Brian, I have to say, back in the day, I can't tell you the exact year this was, but I went to a race there once, and it had to be the August race because I don't think I've ever seen a June race there. It rained on Sunday, and it was pushed back to Monday. So now, everybody had already checked out of their hotels and whatever. So we had to scramble around because we made the decision we were going to stay till Monday. So my brother-in-law was living in Detroit, so I drove over there, kind of crashed in and slept on the floor overnight. And the next day, got back to the track, and I watched Darrell Waltrip lead every lap without a caution. It was terrible. I hated Waltrip at that time anyway. I wasn't the only one that did. A lot of people did. And but that was what our reward was for spending the night and rearranging and all that to see one guy. I don't think he led every lap, but it was a stinky race.
I went to a race there in August once too. Woke up in the morning, my air mattress was floating. They never got the race in that day. We went home. They didn't get the race in on Monday. They ended up having to run it on a Tuesday. And fortunately, the track sent us something in compensation for having that race rain out. But
I'll give you a quick Michigan story. Speaking of weather, I went through the year I broke my leg. I was on crutches, so I was kind of hobbling around in the car, and storms are coming for it was qualifying day, and we left to beat the storm. Well, they had tornado warnings and everything out, and the guy in the radio came out and said there was a funnel cloud, and he gave 2 streets, and we looked up, and we were right at those 2 streets.
Oh, God. And you're on crutches. Let's go as fast as we can. There you go. We're glad you're tuned in. We're going to come back with some results and some other good stuff right after these messages.
Miller Sales and Service is the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer for customer service and satisfaction. Serving the area since 1939, Miller's is located on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. As the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer, Miller's has all kinds of Bravo trailers from 8 feet to 48 feet in stock. They also have a selection of B&B utility and dump trailers, reliable and Chilton open aluminum and steel trailers. With over 50 pre-owned low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs, Miller's has just the vehicle you are looking for. Miller's also carries a full line of Alumacraft boats and Manitou pontoon boats, complete with Evinrude outboards. Why not buy from racers who know what racers want and need? With Miller's Sales and Service on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. Call Jerry, Tom, or Brad Miller today at 920-994-4358. That's Miller's Sales and Service, 920-994-4358.
Race in and get your tickets now as the Fanatec GT World Challenge storms into Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, August 18th through the 20th. This is an all-sports car series of racing. GT powered by AWS. The Toyota Gazoo North American GR Cup Series, and more. There will also be exotic racing, including BMW, Ferrari, Porsche, and a whole list of touring cars. Get your tickets now at roadamerica.com. America's National Park of Speed.
This Saturday at Dell's Raceway Park, the Alive for 5 Super Late Models are back in action with the Badger State 125 presented by Lube USA. See the best Super Late Model drivers in the Midwest going door to door in heart-pounding racing action. Gates open at 3, qualifying at 4:30, green flag racing at 6. Get your advance tickets online now and save at DellsRacewayPark.com. Dell's Raceway Park, Wisconsin's best racing entertainment.
The NASCAR Xfinity Series is back at the famed Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
4 wide into turn 1. Somebody's got it. Racing loves to go hunting for trophies. They got the big one here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Jay Allmendinger loves the Indianapolis Motor Speedway today. It loves him back.
You win at Indy, it's a big deal.
Listen to the Pennzoil 150 at the Brickyard live this Saturday.
Coverage starts at 4 o'clock on the Big 920 and your iHeartRadio app.
LTN Hour presents Dirt on the Dirt with Brian Schmidt.
Another big week of track racing across Wisconsin and the upper Midwest with big money on the line. We'll start Tuesday night in Beaver Dam, the IMCA Modifieds. Taco Dave Schoenberger picked up the win there. In the stock cars, it was Kenny Richards. Up at Eagle River in the limited late models, Jason Zadroik picked up the win. Stock cars went to Jonathan Miller. Rice Lake, Wisconsin, Tuesday night, the 29th annual Little Dream for Wissota Street Stocks. I don't usually talk about street stocks, but good friend Chris Steppen puts on this race, and the street stock feature that night paid $29,411 to win, and Keith Tourville picked up the win in that prestigious event. And that's winning that kind of money in a street stock, I'll tell you that.
Is it a long race?
No, I think it's only 30 laps.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so big money there. Boone, Iowa, Tuesday night, the World of Outlaw Case Construction late models, $15,000 to win. Bobby Pierce picked up the win there. Kokomo, Indiana, the High Limit Sprint Cars Series on Tuesday night. Justin Peck beat Kyle Larson finally to win in that division. Drummond, Quebec, Canada, the Super Dirt Car Series Big Block Modifieds King of the North. Mike Mahaney picked up the money there Tuesday night. Thursday night in New Richmond, Wisconsin, Cedar Lake Speedway kicked off the 36th annual USA Nationals for the World of Outlaw Case Construction late models, $6,000 to win. Bobby Pierce grabbed the win there. Cedar Lake also had their local late models there. They had 48 of them, $2,500 to win. Pat Dorr got the win. Knoxville, Iowa, Thursday night, the kickoff of the 33rd annual Knoxville 360 Nationals. Aaron Reitzel got the win there. Friday night, Chilton, Gravity Park. In the mods, it was Hunter Parsons. Grand Nationals, Nick Goman. And stock cars was Mitch Meyer. Seymour, the Outagamie County Speedway. And the modifieds, Jeff Schmull got the win. Stock cars went to Kyle Frederick. Over in Darlington at the Lafayette County Speedway, the limited lates went to Ethan Pickard. And the modifieds went to Jamie Pfeiffer. Fountain City, Wisconsin, the Mississippi Thunder Speedway, the USRA Modifieds, Brandon Davis got the win. The limited lates went to Cade Nelson. Night number 2 at New Richmond, Wisconsin at Cedar Lake Speedway for the USA Nationals. Another $6,000 to win for the preliminary feature for the World of Outlaw late models. Chris Smokey Madden got the win. And another $2,500 for the local late models. Canadians Shane Edginton got the win there. Down at Farmer City, Illinois, Friday night in the UMP late models, Taylor Scheffler from right around here made the trip down and took home the money from Illinois. It's always great when a Wisconsin guy can go and take Illinois money. That's for sure. UMP mods went to Michael Ledford. Night number 2 in Knoxville, Iowa for the 360 Nationals. Parker Price Miller grabbed the win. Peabody, Missouri, Friday night for the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. The prelim to the Ironman 55, that went to Spencer Baston. Last night at Plymouth in the 360s, Ben Schmidt continued his absolute domination. I believe that's his 7th feature win of the season there. Grand Nationals went to Justin Pearson. Up at Shawano in the late models, Todd Frank picked up another feature win. The modifieds went to Jerry Walensky. Stock cars, Jeremy Christians. Francis Crick, the 141 Speedway. Will Garceau, the rookie in the modifieds, picked up his first career win at Francis Crick. Congratulations to him. Stock cars went to Tyler Drenny, and the Grand Nationals went to Sean Schmidt. Wilmot, the wingless sprints, Ryan Marshall got the win. The mods, Nick Simons. Up at Ashland in the Wissota modifieds, Nick Osterkovich picked up the win there. The final night of the USA Nationals for the World of Outlaw Case Construction late models, $50,000 to win on the line, and Bobby Pierce. If Ricky Thornton Jr. isn't winning, Bobby Pierce is. Ricky Thornton Jr. fell out of this race about the midway point. Bobby Pierce had the lead, kind of was cruising, and on the last lap, out of nowhere, Hudson O'Neill threw a slide job on him in turn 3 and 4.
Choose an American Express card that can earn you rewards for your purchases. Explore benefits from green, gold, and platinum cards. Put some cash back into your wallet from everyday purchases with Blue Cash Everyday and Blue Cash Preferred cards. When you're traveling again, bring back some bonus points or miles as a souvenir with our partner cards from Delta and Hilton. See if you pre-qualify for an American Express card with no impact on your credit score. Learn more at americanexpress.com/check-4-offers. Your credit score may be impacted if you accept a card. Terms apply.
So, we've got a number 1 deluxe meal. Is there anything else I can get you?
Yeah, I'd also like a good night's sleep. Maybe something like the I didn't struggle all night with my uncomfortable CPAP mask.
Sir, I think what you're looking for is Inspire. It's an implant that works inside your body to treat sleep apnea without a CPAP.
Come on! He sounds hangry. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Bobby was able to turn the car, pitch underneath him, and they drag raced to the line for a photo finish, and Bobby Pierce got the $50,000 at Cedar Lake. In the local late models, Jake Tim got the win. Knoxville, the 360 Nationals, Brian Brown grabbed the win. And Peabody, Missouri for the Ironman 55 for the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series, Kyle Larson and Logan Schuhard waged an incredible battle. They had about 6 slide jobs in the last 3 laps. Kyle Larson was same thing, threw a slider, and in turn number 4 was able to get himself straightened out and drag race Logan Schuhauer to the victory. So the World of Outlaws in both divisions had incredible finishes last night. And the Power Eye Midgets were also in Pevely. Jade Avedisian picked up the win there. And that is everything this week.
All right. For those of you who have been listening for a while, every year we do a special program at the Snowball Derby as the short track season wraps up nationally, and we've had the luxury of having our own correspondent. And I thought, you know what, there is no real good reason why PJ Noodleman can't be doing our paved track results. And PJ tells me that she's up for it and she's ready to go. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And we do have to thank Paul Reichert for the results as well. So we'll start with Tuesday this past week. Midwest Truck Series was running up at WIR, and congratulations to Brad Miller. Great battle with Brandon Reichenberger for that win in the Midwest Truck Series. For the Dixieland 250, the Gandred Dixieland 250, ASA Midwest Tour Stars National Tour, Ty Majeski was your winner.
What a year.
What a year indeed. I happen to be sitting next to his crew chief, but we'll chat with him later.
Nice.
Friday, Golden Sands, the UMA Super Late Models, MG Gajewski was the winner, and Mark Eswine crowned the champion. At Grundy, the Super Late Models had twin features. Eddie Hoffman and Nathan Kelly were your winners. At Madison, the Big 8 Late Model Series ran. Dale Nottestead was the winner. Mid-Am Racing Series, Josh Nelms, and the 602 Late Models, Adam Peshek. ARCA at Michigan, Jesse Love was your winner on Friday night. And then last night at the Dells, the UMA Super Late Models had twin features. Casey Johnson back behind the wheel. He wins the first one and finished second to Ryan Farrell in the second feature. So congrats to Casey.
Come back there, Casey. That's awesome.
No kidding. And it's a real good, feel-good story to see him being able to get back behind the wheel and continuing his winning ways. At Lacrosse, Skylar Holzhausen continues his winning ways as well. He locked up the Dash Championship and won the NASCAR Late Model feature. Side note, Danny Fredrickson of Super Late Model notoriety. His son Ty made his debut at Lacrosse in a late model, qualified P3, and finished 6th in the feature. Marshfield, the UMA Super Late Models, Mark Eswine, your winner. And at Rockford, the NASCAR Late Models, Michael Bilderback was the winner there. And Todd, I'll throw it back to you.
Last week at Slingers Speedway, Mike Held won in the Pro Late Model. You know, Mike hasn't been there all year long, and he was working on this car, apparently, getting it ready to go. Nice job, Mike. He wins for the first time. Tonight at the Slinger Speedway, it's a big night. The Super Late Models return. Do you realize the last time the Supers were at Slinger Speedway was when Ty Majeski won the Slinger Nationals a month ago? It's the Alan Kowicki Memorial Race tonight, plus it's alumni night, and it's plus, as I mentioned earlier, it's Wall of Fame induction night too. So a big night for us at Slinger Speedway, and we're looking forward to having many of you show up at Slinger. Can you imagine? Almost a month. It's a month tomorrow since the Slinger Nationals. Woo-hoo. Thank you, PJ. We much appreciate that. Stay with us, would you? We'll be back.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com.
Race in and get your tickets now as the Fanatec GT World Challenge storms into Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, August 18th through the 20th. This is an all-sports car series of racing. GT powered by AWS.
The Toyota Gazoo North America GR Cup Series, and more.
There will also be exotic racing, including BMW, Ferrari, Porsche, and a whole list of touring cars. Get your tickets now at roadamerica.com. America's National Park of Speed.
This Saturday at Dell's Raceway Park, the Alive for 5 Super Late Models are back in action with the Badgers Day 125 presented by Lube USA. See the best Super Late Model drivers in the Midwest going door to door in heart-pounding racing action. Gate open at 3, qualifying at 4:30, green flag racing at 6. Get your advance tickets online now and save at DellsRacewayPark.com. Dell's Raceway Park, Wisconsin's best racing entertainment.
Enjoy your summer, because Packers football will be here soon. The preseason kicks off August 11th against the Bengals. Listen all season long on Milwaukee's home for the Green Bay Packers. 97.3 The Game.
And welcome back to LTN. Glad you're joining us. PJ Noodleman, who just gave that report, like she mentioned, is sitting very closely with the crew chief from the winning car this past Tuesday at WIR in the ASA race. And it's pretty cool that he went way out of his way to join us today.
Way out of his way, indeed. You guys have been having a magical season, Toby, you and Ty and the team. But it seems like Ty's never happy with the car, and neither are you. What's up with that?
Well, it just seems like everybody's getting a little bit faster, and we keep working on it. And he's got to drive a lot harder than he wants to, and we still keep working on it, and I think we're getting it better.
What do you think about Bubba Pollard saying about the track being built by a drunk person with the paver?
I never heard that one, but the tracks down south don't go through near the climate changes or the weather changes that go on up here. So, I mean, it's pretty hard on them. And I think it's better when you got a lot of character in them.
Go ahead, Todd. Were you going to say
No,
something?
I was just going to say that track, and this has been a rumor that has just come up yesterday, that I heard it for the first time, and it is not independently verified. It is rumor only. It has been said that Roger Van Dalwyk, who is the owner of the racetrack, told some people that he has sold the track. Now, I don't know that that's the case. We can't verify it. We're going to look into it. I heard it so late that I was unable to get a hold of Mr. Van Dalwyk to get it from his mouth. But there is that rumor out there. They put on wonderful racing at that place for many, many years. And, it's unfortunate that it's worth a lot more as a subdivision than it is as a racetrack, and that might be where we're at right now. But either way, PJ, you're sitting next to the most successful crew chief in the state of Wisconsin right now, and in fact, for short track racing in the country. And it's kind of an honor that we can call on him once in a while to weigh in on subjects we may have here.
Well, he's happy to do that, right?
I'm happy to be here. Whatever we need.
Perfect.
I'm curious, Toby, that you guys ran that race on the 4 barrels, and it made for a different strategy than you're used to running with the 2 barrels. How was it racing with the 4 barrels and the tire wear and all that? How did it all work out?
Well, it worked out really good. I mean, in the middle of it, we lost the lead. We kind of took the right rear off, but we also had an issue with a carburetor. We had some crud in the carburetor, and the throttle was sticking, and there was some other things that went on there, and we managed to get it fixed on a pit stop, and then he just took off like what he does.
Must be nice having a guy as good as Ty Majeski, huh?
Yeah, you don't win with him, then there's usually a problem,
Makes you look good, that's for damn sure.
Oh, yes, he does.
Yeah. Very awesome that we were able to check with you on subjects once in a while, and it's I would say it's safe to say that depending on Toby's schedule, he will be available on a part-time basis, maybe, to be on this program. So we're looking forward to that. And PJ, you make sure you take good care of him, would you?
Oh, please.
That's what we like to hear. What's next for Ty Majeski and for you, actually?
We're going to be at the Dells in September for that the Jim Sauter race, and then the next one was we go to
Toledo on the 16th.
Boy, all I got to do is ask your person there, and she'll fill you in case you were wondering.
Oh yeah.
I'm curious about, and I know we're running out of time, so I'll make this quick, but there's 3 races left in the Stars Tour, and the last one is Nashville on November 5th, which is the same weekend that the trucks are running in Phoenix. That could be a sticky wicket.
Ooh.
Yeah, that could be a problem. We just got to see how it goes. If he wins the championship, the truck champion, lucky enough to win the truck championship, I don't know what's going to happen there. I mean, he's going to miss a bunch of practice. Same thing with Toledo. The Bristol truck race is Friday night, and we race at Toledo on Saturday. So if there's any weather or any issues, we could have a problem there too.
Boy, oh boy. It's not like, he just jumps into his airplane like many of these NASCAR guys do and just fly wherever he needs to go, right? Not exactly the same.
Truck race is on a Thursday night, so you got a little bit of time there.
Oh, yeah, with a little time. I didn't even know. See, that tells me how much I know,
Hey, you'll be able to tune in here and find all that stuff out, I guess, huh?
Well, yeah, but Duke is really good. I mean, Duke's the ThorSport has an airplane, and there's times where he'll actually help us out and get Ty where he needs to go if it comes down to that,
All right. Well, while we have you here, Toby, we're at the point of the program where we all make our choice for today's race at Michigan. We're not real good at it, so maybe we can use some professional help. I'm taking the 6 car today, Keselowski to victory lane. Let's go to Dan next.
I'll go 19, Martin Truex.
All right. Brian?
1, Ross Chastain.
All right. PJ?
Joey Logano.
Oh, that's always a safe bet. And Toby?
Well, I'm going to have to stick with a Ford and go with Chris Buescher.
2 in a row for Buescher. When you're hot, you're hot. Thanks to everybody for tuning into this program. We appreciate that you made us a little part of your Sunday morning. And what I like people to remember is that real race cars have doors, even if they do climb in through the windows. LTN is produced and directed by Dangerous Dan Margetta. Our in-house engineer and website guru is Matt Losey. For all of us involved with the program, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week, everybody.
This program has come to you live from multiple locations via Skype. Any and all comments expressed on this show do not necessarily express the opinions of this station, its employees, or advertisers. Your comments are always welcome at mail@ltnradionetwork.com. Find us at facebook.com/LTN Radio Network. And thank you for your support since 1985. Tune in again next Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time for the LTN Hour on the LTN Radio Network.
Introducing Wheatley American Vodka, made right here in the U.S. of A. Award-winning? Yes, but never too fancy for a backyard barbecue.
This song right here is for the red, white, and blue. You got good taste, and you drink like it too. Wheatley, so good I drink it neatly. Wash in Moscow always get the mule. Vodka this good is an American jewel. Wheatley, so good I drink it neatly.
Wheatley American Vodka. Please drink responsibly. Sazerac Company, Louisville, Kentucky, 41% alcohol by volume.